So, actually, I'm going to ask that now, and then I'll come back to this. So being straight edge, you're straight edge now.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, I'm straight edge, and I think I know why I'm straight edge, but I'm 50 years old. If I like, if I know why I am, no, I'm sorry. If I'm confident to say I'm straight edge, and I've I've will vocalize that, but yet I still like when people say why. I've never been able to really give them the great answer that is like the end all be all answer. I don't think anybody really can.
Right.
Um, but why are you like what about straight edge works for you in your mindset?
I just don't think I need anything else in my life because I know just weed and alcohol, just other drugs, it just seems to lead to problems. It just causes problems, causes just depression and disorders and stuff, and just especially from a young age, it's just can kind of ruin your life early on, and I just don't think that it's a good decision. It's just a very dangerous thing to play with because it can lead the rest of your life to be going downhill.
You know, it's interesting because you see in jazz, like you were saying, a lot of the people that have written some of the greatest jazz stuff, they were bombed out of their mind.
Yeah.
So, what is your thought on that? Because I've never done, I've really never done anything as far as drugs, drinking, and so when people say, "Oh, dude, it opens your mind," I mean, maybe I don't know. What is your thought about that as someone who is a proficient musician who plays jazz? Like if someone, and maybe people have said this to you, dude, you got to try this because it's going to open your mind and make you so much better. What is your thought on that?
I just don't think I need it. Like, if I'm really gonna dedicate myself to doing something like playing jazz, I think I'm gonna do it the hard way and not cheat using drugs and stuff. It's the same thing with like a bodybuilder. If you're not natural, then like kind of what's the point? Like if you're competing and you're just taking these drugs to get bigger, like why? It's just it doesn't seem useful or productive because you're cheating to get there. You're taking a shortcut.
Monty told me, you may have seen it when I interviewed him. Monty's your brother. Just in case people listening to this are like, Monty, what are you talking about? Milltown Records puts out FV Slim, amongst other things. What he was telling me was he met a guy, told him that Jeff Banks was his dad, and the guy was like, Jeff Banks is your dad. And Monty, I think, had to show him his driver's license or something. Have you had any moments like that in meeting people where they've been like, that's your dad? Like really?
Um, no, I have not like that. Just kind of they ask about how I know the chorus, and I tell them that Jeff Banks is my dad, and they're like, "Oh shoot, really?" And like, yeah, you just kind of talk to them. They ask where you're from and stuff, and like, yeah, but not utter disbelief, but yeah.
As far as hardcore goes, like where do you fall? Are you someone, because I've met people over the years, younger people, and they kind of come and they're more into the newer stuff. And I remember meeting a kid once years ago, this was like 20, 30 years ago, and him telling me, yeah, I don't like Minor Threat. I don't think they're very good. And to me, that was like sacrilege. Like you don't
Yeah.
say that, but I'm just saying that's his opinion, and that's fine. Like, are you into all of it? Do you have a focus on the newer stuff? Like what is your like where are your tastes?
Just in all music or just
Oh
hardcore?
well, hardcore, but then let's go to
Yeah.
all music.
I like all of it mostly. I guess from like late '90s to 2000s I haven't really gotten into, but I like the later stuff like Drain and Tsunami, Dare, Out of Pocket, End It. And then the early stuff like Minor Threat. It's like a great band, Black Flag, Dead Kennedys. Like they're all great. Like, but I've noticed that recent music that's coming out like Drain and Tsunami, and especially Out of Pocket, like just the guitarists and stuff, they're just getting better and better. And I think the vocalists are getting better. And I think the music now, like as music, it's better than it was when it first started. Um, so I think I'm right now enjoying the newer stuff, but I've always liked the old stuff too. Like I've always been a big fan of Dead Kennedys, but now like listening to a band like End It, it's like you can kind of see it reflecting, but it's like you can just see like the start and the finish. Like you can just kind of visualize the changes that have taken place to get to where we are now, and like the vocalist changes and the guitarist changes, and especially in the drummers too. Like it's just a big mix of stuff now, and I think that's great because it's taken things from other music genres, and people have just gotten better at their instruments because the bass line is higher.
So then, what was for you? Okay, when you said like, what was the band that you would say got you into hardcore?
Drain.
Gotcha.
Well, originally probably Dead Kennedys,
Okay.
but newer hardcore is Drain.
Gotcha. Your shirt. Can you kind of hold it up a little bit to the camera? So explain. I'm just saying, just explain the mechanisms of Gangster SpongeBob. I mean, like, is it more just the idea of taking, and punk and hardcore have always done this, but what I think now, what you see more of is when hardcore and punk do that, they do it, but they embrace it more. Whereas like in the 80s, it would be like images of Reagan and stuff like that, and it would be sort of making fun of Ronald Reagan, or they might make fun of something in pop culture, whereas now it seems like the things that you guys are having fun with are things you guys are like, this is like, we actually like this, but we're kind of making it cooler, kind of thing. Is there any truth to what I'm saying or thinking?
Yeah, I think just like SpongeBob, everybody grew up with it, everybody knows it now, and like we're just kind of finding a way to put it into our lives now, and like sitting in front of the TV as a kid watching SpongeBob and just having those good memories of watching the show. It's like you kind of want to keep that. You want to keep that childhood with you. And I think that's where the Gangster SpongeBob kind of comes in. But I think what it mainly came from for us, for this Bankroll shirt, was our singer's favorite band, Big Boy. The singer, Brendan Flores, has a tattoo of Gangster SpongeBob on the back of his calf. And so, like, I think that was kind of the inspiration for it. And that's why, and then the name Bankroll, of course, having the money and stuff. So, yeah.